Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Colin Ulrich coming to you with some more Company of Heroes 2 action. It's 1v1 today on Faymonville Approach. And frankly, guys, whenever I record, this is the best part of my week. But what do we got going on? Well, up here on the northern side, we have, playing the Wehrmacht, it is the blue-trunked forces of Arnolaz. Now, he is bringing on into the fray our Assault Support Doctrine, Elite Troops Doctrine, and Lightning War Doctrine. Meanwhile, his opponent down at the southeast, setting up in his home, like, it's a wee bit loud, setting up in his own little inimitable way, it is the forces of Wehr. So he's way cool right now. He's got the red trunks on, and what's he bringing on in? Well, he's got assault support, mobile assault, wow. Thinking about the Wehrmacht again already. Royal Engineer, and then Commando Regiment. So, my hope, frankly, for me, just for me, is that we see Royal Engineer, just because I kind of want to see a AVRE coming out onto this map. Probably not going to happen, but it would be fun nevertheless. We are going to see the Brits are very, very quickly moving on out to secure some of this kind of very forward area. Germans, in the meantime, are going to go for a standard opening, Grenadiers and MG42. And they're going to come under fire almost immediately, so meeting engagement. First bits of death and destruction are levied back and forth as the Germans who lose their first model here, so I don't know what that says about the game so far. But Wehr seems nervous enough that he wants to pick up a Vickers machine gun, so that's an interesting call right there. We do have the Germans, though, with their MG42 in the Godhouse, and a couple more bursts of fire. I think he should be able to bring these guys into a suppression kind of state. No, they can just kind of amble away. No problem there. Where's that Vickers going to go? I'd be very surprised unless
machine gun crew ready and waiting.
Maybe the Vickers will go into this area right about here. Forgive me, guys, if they sound a little bit screwy. I was actually flirting with the idea of doing some PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which is a fantastic game, honestly. And the sound levels for that are a little bit different than what they are for this one, so until I get specific settings put on out, gonna be a little screwy. But wow, a super fast platoon command post, 205 when it comes on out. Now the Vickers is going to try to trade against this MG42, and I don't know if that's really the best option. What's more, while this Vickers could be suppressed in its infantry right here, they're going to allow them to get around to the side and get up on their flank. It is not going to be pretty.
A capture point is being overrun.
And they decide to back away as an intelligent decision right there. Germans do have themselves a numerical advantage. They're bringing in a mortar as well. It's a very interesting call. For what's more, though, at least the Brits do have themselves a very, very quick fuel point engaged onto the whole kind of supply structure here. Jeez, I cannot talk, guys. A couple of days off from casting, and geez, the entire thing goes to the dogs. But no, so the Brits do have their fuel. The Germans don't yet have theirs. Yet, paradoxically, they are floating a little bit more fuel than the UKF is at this point in time. Arnolaz is not going for any sort of quick battle phase 1. Instead, he's just going to have his mortar, I think, start, unloading on this garrison right here. And I can't help but wonder, there's now a sniper coming on out for the UKF. I'm not sure if I really necessarily agree with that, but it could be very, very good against this Godhouse machine gun. However,
Snipers trained.
with a mortar in the area, I mean, he'll take a couple of rounds and he'll be losing some troops here and there, but a mortar should be able to at least really pester the bejesus out of this sniper and really frustrate his engagements. But, you know, we'll see, I suppose. And in the meantime, Vickers is going to go put fire out onto this capturing Grenadier squad, and for some reason these Pioneers are coming in right after that as well. Don't know. Okay, there we go, okay. He's taking just enough firepower from this MG42, he should back away. And that sniper is just barely out of range. Okay, so well done there. Will this mortar try to unload on that sniper is the question. Well, he's not going to get a whole lot of time to do it. Good gosh, this guy's already taking a lot of firepower. Perfect control from Wehr on terms of this sniper. 3 shots, 3 kills. That MG's got to get out of there right now. And he might not be able to do it. Nope. And there he goes. So with that, the Brits do have themselves an open territory in the middle part of the field. They take the Godhouse for themselves. They put pressure on this mortar team. And first blood goes to the UKF. And that's shocking to me. I'm just really surprised by that. Wehr, in the meantime, though, bringing in a 6-pounder. But Arnolaz doesn't seem to be going for a very quick tech up now, is he? He's only going for that for battle phase 1 as we speak. What's more, down in the southern part of the map, we are going to see a mine or two going on out. I think it's a very good decision. And while they are going to lose this center VP, Well, for one, they have the sniper to kind of really frustrate anything that's going to be happening in the opposite direction. So if this armor-piercing sniper comes on forwards, he's going to buy it super, super quickly. Well, we have ourselves an enemy at the gates, that kind of situation here. And frankly, I think what we're going to have happen is this armor-piercing sniper is going to try to get forwards to put pressure. Nope, never mind. He's going to back away. Alright, Royal Engineers coming on out. So I don't know if it's a hazard removal kit. Yep, there's already a hazard removal kit on those engineers. So very good decision there. Prescient, to be sure. But he's looking in the wrong direction. What's more, this sniper is not going to reveal his position very often until he knows where his opposing number is. But the Germans have to be a little more aggressive here. Doesn't see the sniper just yet. Though I imagine if he should, that would be a rather devastating engagement. Interesting. Actually, we're going to see this MG coming on outside this house to put pressure onto these Pioneers. Pioneers have to get out right now. Others are going to go on down here. It actually looks like Arnolaz is probably going to drop that squad.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
That's shocking. They actually did not drop that squad. That's very shocking to me. Second mortar is out in the field, but there are also Tommies right by it, so it doesn't really want to be there in this particular moment in time. And what's more, yep, this armor-piercing sniper is going to do quite a bit of damage here.
The enemy is firing on our HQ.
For half a second, I thought that he was going to sacrifice that Grenadier squad to take out that armor-piercing sniper, but it's not going to happen. Unfortunately, the sniper is out in the open, so this other sniper coming on forwards, he's got to book it right now. Run. There we go. Okay, good. Phew, he makes his way just barely in time. Germans are definitely under the gun as we speak. There's a lot of fuel going over to Wehr's possession here. And while we have one squad of Tommies backing away, I can't say that I really like the German position. Bunker going on up, probably a very quick Leichte Mechanized Company after that. There'll still be another minute or two before we see that really get anything of value onto the battlefield. It looks like for right now, Arnolaz is going to depend on indirect fire to kind of keep position on this territory. Just an assumption, though. But with two mortars at the same time, taking any sort of garrison is going to be a really bad idea, and I imagine once he understands that this position has been taken again, it is not going to be pretty.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
AEC requisition goes on through. I'm surprised we haven't seen a rushed AEC. Then again, considering the map control, it's almost better for the Brits to preserve their fuel. Even though they are gaining such an incredible amount of it, especially over their opponents, I can't help but feel it's actually probably a good idea, even a better idea, to just kind of rush to the company command post. But no, it is going to be an AEC, and Arnolaz is going for that Lightning War Doctrine, so he's looking for that late-game Tiga tank, as well as perhaps those Osttruppen as reserves. Don't like it too much myself,
Extra firepower is now available
but it can still work, I suppose.
We're losing a capture point.
Tommies, in the meantime, do have the opportunity now to pick up Bren guns, which would make a terrifyingly bad engagement for any sort of infantry out there. Did the sniper get his first kill? No, he did not. He's still not shooting at all. I get the feeling that's going to be a waiting game. Neither sniper is really going to want to engage very aggressively, and for good reason, of course. One shot, one kill. Jaeger infantry package, indeed. We go on through, so we have Gewehr 43s on out. And these guys also have that lovely interrogation opportunity. Pioneers are going to be starting to engage against these Royal Engineers inside. There's a garrison. The garrison comes under fire from mortars. And the AEC is just going to devastate that Grenadier squad. Hasn't taken him out just yet, but that pack coming on out, well, that might be the death knell for him, so we'll see. Engineers are going to chase after that Grenadier, desperately trying to pick him off. Can't say I like that particular decision.
He's trying to take a point from us.
No, okay, so he's pretty close, but he's not, right up against it. Well, I like the Mechanized Company, and now actually the mortars as well. That AEC is not going to get a ton of work done, I don't think. Gewehrs, in the meantime, are going to engage the 6-pounder and do some really good health damage to him. AEC backs away because he foresees some death and destruction coming on out. And I can't help but feel that this pack's going to set up behind to cover these mortars. So these mortars are going to be that kind of a lure to bait the hook. But for the moment, things seem to be okay. Tommies, in the meantime, we have one squad with Brens, another squad without Brens completely now engaged in these Gewehrs, and with his rifle grenade coming on out, completely wasted more than not. And you have to really kind of appreciate how quickly you can fire those SMLEs. Those things are beastly good. We're also seeing a collection of infantry here as well. So, yep, the mortars are already beginning to do some good ranging shots out there. AEC is coming on down. Maybe to try to flank the Pioneers? No, not quite. Not quite. And a nice close engagement between Stens and MP40s. And, you know, historically, I'm not sure which one to go with on that one. But if the sandbags get taken on out, then... Oh, wow.
Enemy got one of our squads.
Wow, so Royal Engineers go on down to mortars. Thank you, indirect fire. And this pack, did he get any kind of shot off? He did, but... Oh, good, he actually did hit as well. Alright. Vickers is still in the southern part of this map, and while Arnolaz is down a little bit in terms of tech, it's not too bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not, like, incredibly bad. And indeed, I want to say, I'm looking for a way to really kind of go and transition into that later game company command post, and he's not doing it. Obviously, he needs the fuel at the second.
A new engineer section is waiting for orders.
But I don't really agree with that AEC. I feel like that kind of slowed his tempo down just a little bit too much, and frankly, he could have gone for some later game material really, really fast. Gotten for like a, I don't know, a 12 or 13 minute Cromwell, perhaps. Sniper's coming on in. I think he's just going to try to take shots of opportunity here. But it's not going to be super easy, and indeed we have the sniper, he's in the area. So one shot going on out, so he knows that sniper's in the area. So see if he starts moving his own sniper out. Knows he can keep him back away from the front lines and just start engaging his opposing numbers forces instead. So he's like, you know what? I'll sacrifice this material if I can turn out to take out your own guys. And that's going to be forced back again instead, so forget that. Vickers is coming under a lot of intense pressure here. One more shot could do it. Never mind. He's going to get away, retreat before too much else happens. 4-3-2 to 4-5-2. 12 minutes have gone by. Is Arnolaz looking to upgrade? No, he hasn't yet. And I think the Germans are taking some losses here or there, and really, it's not been the best engagements all across the line. What's more, this sniper's been looking quite good. 13 kills. Could have taken a 14th on retreat. Nope, never mind. Let's see if that mine still is in the ground. Yep, it's still in the ground over here for Arnolaz. So if there's any sort of end run happening, courtesy of this AEC, well, it's not going to go particularly well for him, let's just say that. Sniper's right in the middle of the road, and this mortar's going to go down as well. So, free mortar out in the field. Question is, will it be taken? Pack's going to throw rounds into the rear of the AEC. Probably get a second round off. Nope, never mind. And Germans do go and pick up the mortar. No, they don't. Okay. Sniper's curving on around. He's trying desperately to get shots onto this other sniper. Oof. Comes out in the open just for a second or two, and does not look like the Brits do see him. It looks instead the Germans are going to engage. Okay. Neither sniper's going to get caught out, I don't think. Yep, we're still good. All right. And again, both snipers, just to support their own infantry forces. There's going to be another German going on down. So the question is whether or not he can get into firing range on that. Nope, he can't. So the boys' anti-tank rifle sniper, the 55 caliber, is going to be safe for another day or two. That mortar round would have been rather perfect, though, if he had hit. Mortar, in the meantime, is still up for grabs, but I don't think the Germans are really going to be rushing out to go grab it anytime soon. And I can't help but, again, wonder why neither player is really pressuring for later game tech. 358 to 452. It looks like that triple cap is finally going to come on off for the Brits, and finally it's going to be a 2-to-1 cap at the very, very least. In terms of overall play, I have to give the edge over here to Wehr, mostly because, well, for one, that sniper micro early on was rather fantastic, and really Arnolaz has been dropping some micro here and there. Machine gun in the meantime coming on out. This is the original one back in the day. And I can't help but wonder, are we going to see a rifle grenade coming on out? Not quite. No, instead he's looking to engage that Bren squad up to the northern side. Back to the north, want to check real quick. Okay, hold fire on everybody. And it looks like the Vicker does a good amount of damage. Oh, he could have decapped. Why didn't he not decap? Ugh. Alright. MG42 is on out as well, so second squad coming out with MG42. Question is, can he get it back into the center house? If so, he could be okay. It won't be perfect, mind you, but it could be okay. And now with these guys out in the open, they're going to get cut to pieces. Going across that road, I'm surprised they're not pinned already.
The sector has been cut off.
And we're coming up top just to see a rifle grenade going on out to force back Bren's yet again. But this armor-piercing sniper, he's out in the open, and the Germans have no one anywhere close to him to take him on out. Instead, Arnolaz is just hanging back in base. His troops are just kind of languishing under the rather aggressive play of Wehr. Alright, but what can we do to get back in this? Well, for one, Arnolaz needs to either go to another tech level, which is not wondering why the hell he's not doing it. Yikes. Oh, whatever. Not that big of a deal. If you can get an AEC, or get a Faust off on the AEC, that would be a decent call as well. But, I mean, it's not going to be perfect. And right now, he's just playing with a very, very blobby indirect fire weapons with close-range anti-infantry, close-range anti-tank. I mean, don't get me wrong. Great idea. But that's the way you play if you're up. And right now, he is nowhere near being up. Mines being put down in the meantime by Royal Engineer squads. More sandbags being put down by Tommy's down to the south. And now he's going to lose even more fuel. So just consistently, we see a lot of material in the center part of the map. But other than that, I can't understand what he's doing with it. What's more, I cannot really understand why he decided to put fire on this garrison, and then he decided to jump into it. One would think either you would blow it apart, or you would leave it standing, but you want to go both ways. 6-pounder, in the meantime, is going to start trying to deconstruct this particular area as well. He gets in the wrong regions instead, and wow, smoke rounds coming on out. That's kind of surprising. Remember, again, those smoke rounds don't do very much. In fact, they don't do anything. And now here's a time to get a Faust really, really quickly. So here's a Faust. Might have lost a man to a mine, but who cares? So Faust and Pack is in the area, so he's going to shamble on forwards. Maybe. And this machine gun is now just going to draw fire for a couple seconds longer, and this is a dead AEC. So the first bit of good luck the Germans have had the entire map, and it's not even going to last that long. This Vickers, in the meantime, carving into these mortar positions. With now, as well, we're going to see relief infantry coming on in, so expect to see some really, really low-class Osttruppen out. And now, actually, Bren gun being dropped. So an opportunity for the Germans to get their squads a little bit more oomph onto the battlefield. Arm-piercing sniper going to put fire into this machine gun crew. I think, no, he's going to back away. I kind of thought he was going to do that. It seems a little bit silly that he did not. But Osttruppen could be called in at any moment now. And, oh no, that's why.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Goodbye, machine gun. Oof. Goodbye, mortar team. Well, we could see Osttruppen picking up this Bren gun, and that actually be, surprisingly enough, a decent call, and actually even an upgrade for them. A good upgrade at that.
Our headquarters are under fire.
It's always amusing to me to see firepower going back the other direction. The company command post has finally been called on in, but it's taken, I think, way too long to do it. Though, to be fair, it does give him plenty of fuel to do some good damage. What's more, can we see some death being delivered against either one of these squads? No, instead it looks like the sniper's going to get himself away, and the German mortar goes over for free. What a shame.
Supply line's been cut.
30 seconds left on the Osttruppen, and we have 12 new Eastern individuals coming on out. And again, guys, Bren gun right there. Go for the Bren. Go for the gold. Base MG is going to put some fire out, as are the sniper, and Arnolaz needs to back away. Right now, he's got two squads that are completely pinned. Dude, back away. Why are you sacrificing? Okay, oh, he's looking to get more Osttruppen. I'm not sure I do that, though, with a max veterancy squad. It seems a little bit silly to me. Apparently he doesn't know that thing's down there. Fog of War. Not getting the Fog of War. Alright, there we go. Well, he better know it's there now.
We're losing a capture point.
And he is still not picking it up. My friend. Greeks, Roman, countrymen, what are you doing? 213 to 452. I'm still confused why he's not being very aggressive on picking up the free material that's out on the battlefield. But he's not. So, with that in mind, we are going to see up to the northern side, Pioneers are going to go and pick up this munitions point and maybe start driving towards this VP. But over on the Brit side, what do we see? We see ourselves a comet. And you know what? Comets are always harbingers of doom. I'm not sure if you guys know that, but harbingers of doom. Not good. Oshtrooper, in the meantime, are going to be able to fire like more or less effectively. Not going to trade very effectively, but going to put some good fire out and enough just to take this point. Though they'll take devastating losses to do it.
Trying to take one of our points.
We are going to finally see this Brent going to get picked on up. And this MG is getting carved to pieces. Dear God. So here comes the shot. He's calling the shot. Oh, no. He didn't get it. He did not get it.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
Thought he was going to get that, but no. Alright, Oshtrooper squad goes down, which means that this territory is going to go right back over to British hands. But while, you know, Ernesto, or whatever you want to call the Oshtrooper, are going down in the southwest, and in the northeast, Hans is taking another point for German hands. MG, in the meantime, is going to go and start putting fire into his Oshtrooper, and going to make them suppressed and pinned super, super quickly. Yep, they're super close, they take firepower, and they're going to be pretty much destroyed. But they have Pioneers in the area, so while the Oshtrooper get carved to pieces, these Pioneers are going to do a good bit of damage for the fatherland.
We're losing a capture point.
And with that in mind, this Vickers is going to get devastated by that. A couple of models dropping down already, maybe a couple more? No, not going to happen. And no, okay, so the battle of snipers goes on out. German takes out the British one. And Grenz in the southern side of the map. One of them Faust? No, we had the Pak-40 instead putting fire into this comet. Target weak point, something like that? No, target weak point was not used. But people have to watch out because that comet tank does have that beautiful, beautiful smoke round, which is rather good. And frankly, where's that other? Yes, the Willie Pete. So this, the M89 Willie Pete shell is quite devastating against any sort of setup cruise. So you have to watch out for that one as well. I think Arnolaz is just playing for that Tiga, which, surprisingly enough, he's not out of this game yet.
Down to 200 points.
I'm really kind of shocked to say that, but he's not out of this game. He's been playing very, very tentatively, but then he had a couple of really great breaks here. Now he's going for a third pack, giving himself just enough time, I would say, and just enough army supply to bring in that Tiga. Reminder, that thing takes 19 army supply, so he's got about 10 to play with. And reinforcing his troops, what he got 4, and another 1 right there. So, you know, he's got a couple left to do.
Our capture point. They're trying to take it.
And now Brenz against Brenz. And amusingly enough, with that, I think the Oshtrooper should be able to fight the Brits to a standstill here. And they are doing a rather good job of it. Now, even though the Germans have a little bit of an army supply lead, the Brits are not out of this particular game. They are also pushing around the map, doing a decent job of it. And I think, yep, that sniper is really going to get himself kind of cocky. But with that in mind, there's another one out in the field for the Brits. So you have to be kind of careful here. And with that, oof, rifle grenade, and there goes an MG squad. So while I was just singing the praises about how well Wehr was sticking in this game, well, he drops a couple of squads here and there, and not going to be particularly pretty.
Line's been cut.
And for the first time in probably about 10 or 15 minutes, we are going to see the Brits lose a couple of tickets here and there. Not sure. Okay, so the Oshtrooper were being brought on in to pressure back that sniper. Good call there. And now we have at least one pack putting rounds downrange. Yes, we do. But it's not enough to completely take it on out. And there is the Tiga over for the Germans. So 11 army supply out in the open. Ooh, stun round going on through. Which means that that mortar is now up for grabs yet again. And while Arnolaz only had a slight army supply, that's grown rather significantly to almost 30 here. And this pack's going to try to take that out. Not sure it's the greatest idea, but still decent, I suppose. The Grenadiers really should back up, though. Yeah, there we go. So he finally backs away. Tiga tank coming on forwards, and these Brens are going to... Excuse me, Bren's squad's going to get completely carved to pieces. Iron-piercing sniper, though. This guy's in the area. Can he do anything worthwhile? No, not really. Critical shot? Maybe?
Enemy threatening a capture point.
But he's a new sniper, so not the most talented of individuals. So the Comet tank is going around to the south, trying to find a way out. And you know what? Actually, I think he... No, he didn't even hit that mine before. I thought that was what he hit before. We had the damage go on out. That engine critical. But I do not think that is the case in retrospect here. Now the question is, will Arnolaz start taking up that he has? No, he's not. He's not taking up still. That's very surprising to me. Very gutsy at that, but very surprising. Tiga's going to put pressure now on the 6-pounder. 6-pounder's going to put pressure right back. He said, bro, I don't care how big you are. I'm going to continue to chase you and blow holes in your tiny metal body. But with that in mind, the Comet is kind of cheating around to the northeast, maybe looking to take out that 6-pounder. Take out this push of Osttruppen. As Osttruppen, they don't fire particularly well on the move, but when they're sitting in one place, they do a decent enough job. They can put some nice rifle fire on out. And they are dirt cheap, too. Isn't that the wonderful thing about them? Jeez, but the Brits are shoved back into their base. They have a northern point over here. There's this munitions point way the heck back. And I'm wondering, will we see Stuka+ air support? Because that'd be kind of fun to call out in the Comet. Though overall would not be the most effective use of material or munitions, I would feel. And 26 minutes in, 185 to 394. Germans are holding the line strong, and Wehr has still not made a decision in terms of his commander. So taking a look again, he's got Commando, he's got Royal Engineer, he's got Mobile Assault. Now, at this point, I don't feel like Mobile Assault would be a great call. Again, I would say, really, Royal Engineer Regiment might be the best play he can make. That's assuming, of course, he's not just going to use his standard army options. And down to the south, the Brits know that this artillery mine is out on the field. And these Grens are going to get carved up pretty darn well, because they're not actually in cover here. They're actually on this wagon. And it's not going to do a lot of good, since they are facing the wrong direction. What's more interesting than we see the mortar team for the Germans picked on off. So while the Germans brought the mortars onto the battlefield, well, they don't have any control over any of those anymore. Tiga shifting around to the south, they're going to put pressure onto these Brens, I feel. And really, all things considered, not that much to be terrified about. MG going to put fire right back into, right back into these Royal Engineers to recrew the MG, and kind of frustratingly, perhaps, Royal Engineers had a Piat, and they lost the Piat because they didn't retreat quickly enough. Bit of a misplay. Though one pack is going to go down, can be able to be picked up by somebody else, but then again, the 25-pounder rounds might be able to just destroy these support weapons. And that might be the better option for the UKF. Germans lose a 2-to-1 captain for a second or two here. And Grenadiers coming on under fire over here in the northeast? Yes, they are. Bren, okay, so Brens, that's what it's going to be. Of course, these guys, can they pick up the Bren? Yes, they can. So now there's a Bren as well as Gewehrs. And that Bren squad retreating back home. Well, it's, Wehr is dropping quite a bit of munitions here. Tiga is in the area, as is this Comet tank, and a 6-pounder as well. So it is the battle of the brutes here. A second Comet coming on out. And what would be really, really great to see is a... Yep. There's Stuka+ air support. With a Faust, which means this guy is not going anywhere fast. I'll say. There we go, so he's stunned, he's not going to do a whole lot, and that's going to be the death of that Comet, I would think. Engage, my friend, engage. Tiga coming on for the coup de grace. Should be able to get it. No, instead he engages an infantry unit. Shock and surprise and awe. Tiga gets blasted back instead, so he's going to have to be forced away. Going back home, so not even picking up that Comet tank.
You now have a new Comet tank.
I won't say a complete misplay, but pretty big of a misplay. And now I didn't even realize the Pioneers went down as in addition to that, so the Germans have no repair whatsoever for this poor Tiga. Got to get his claws sharpened yet again, but it is a triple cap for the Germans, so 30 minutes in, 177 to 329. And where is that armor-piercing sniper? He's back a little bit off the front line, so 4 kills to his name. Not the most aggressive, but at the same time, not really trying to be aggressive. Rifle grenade going on out towards the mortar team, doesn't do much. How about a Faust? Do we see a Faust in the area? No, we're not. Instead, we'll probably see both packs redeploy. No, we're seeing them fire the wrong direction instead. So one pack's gonna get some fire on out and starts to bounce rounds off the front of that Comet tank. Again, that thing is a giant. Not quite as sexy as that Tiga, perhaps, but it's still pretty scary.
Heavy tank reporting.
I'm surprised to see as well that we haven't seen a Willie Pete shell for either one of these comets. The new one, obviously not really the surprising one, but this dude's been out for 5 or 6 minutes now, so really shocking to me that he hasn't gained any veterancy whatsoever. And that mine, even though people know that it's there, hasn't been picked off yet. So the UKF has to be a little bit careful here. Vickers is coming to the center part of the map, and this German mortar team's going to get blasted to pieces. But I think we'll still see this pack get picked on up. Jeez, that was fast. So now 2 comets coming on in. Both comets putting pressure on the German front lines, and the Germans don't have enough AT to take them both out. Just resetting a little bit further down so we can see a little bit better here. This other pack, if it gets 1 or 2 rounds out, that might be enough. No. Indeed, the pack gets called in and gets decrewed almost immediately, so that's a shame right there. Well, the sniper survives, and this Tiga tank is slowly getting its claws sharpened yet again. And all throughout this, Arnolaz is starting to take away tickets away from that very, very strong UKF lead. I didn't see the other sniper going on down, but I can't help but wonder if that was this bro right here. Yep, that's what at least that's where the round is. So maybe he put a round out, and the sniper on the German side was like, "Hey, bro, you stick your head out, I'm gonna blow it off," and did so rather succinctly. Smoke coming out from the Brit side. Not sure why that is, but smoke, regardless, is an interesting call. It actually even allows the Germans to shift in a little bit easier with a little bit more safety.
Your sniper's trained.
So sniper, 1 shot. He's not going to put another shot out immediately. Instead, he's going to back away. It's a good call. And now all 3 packs are back up and running against that very newly minted Comet. Just keeps coming under fire. He just cannot catch a break, can he? Sniper's going to come in for the 1-2. 1. And 2. Yep, there he goes.
Heavy machine gun crew killed.
And the Brits, who had such a strong veterancy start, don't have a whole lot of veterancy left on the map. They have a couple of the squads, of course. And this guy down here finally has that first Willie Pete shell, and that thing is crazy good. For 20 munitions, it's a beast of a thing. Arm-piercing sniper coming on in. He's trying to find that German sniper. Don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Tiga, though, is coming back to the front, and this MG42 coming into mortar fire as well as from this Comet. We've seen some very interesting engagements. We're seeing the Tiga, for example, facing the wrong direction as opposed to going after his armored counterpart. And this sniper is not able to engage super easily now, is he? And there goes the German sniper. So, the Battle of the Snipers going back and forth. Very enemy of the gates, but at the same time, kind of a wasteful opportunity. Not sure why he was like, you know what, I'm going to trade my life for one of the Brits. He has to know that if his opponent made a second sniper, he's probably going to make a third. And frankly, using this whole coordinated fire is a rather nifty ability. Interestingly, Arnolaz going for a Nebelwerfer. A little bit underpowered as indirect fire goes, but if you don't want a mortar team to get blown to pieces, it'll work, I suppose. This open area over here used to have a wall in front of it, used to have a lot of terrain. But instead now we're going to see the Germans are going to run into all of this mess, and I'm surprised we're not going to see a Willie Pete shell immediately. Instead we will see rifle grenades going on out after this mortar team blow them apart. And we see the British sniper missing on retreat, so well escaped. Now where are the 3 packs? We have one on the road, one to the southwest, and the other one in kind of an anti-tank front kind of position. And with that, the Germans continue to kind of shift back and forth here. Ooh, green cover for this? Not a great place to be if you are Brits coming forward with any kind of armored personnel. And he will come forwards. He is not ashamed. And they're very, very lucky for this Tiga, though, that he's not being come under fire from either of these anti-armor assets. What's more, these Pioneers are chasing after this Tiga, trying to get the last bit of paint on in. And they're pretty much all set to go already, so isn't that lovely? But here's a Nebelwerfer. Panzerwerfer, excuse me, I'm sorry. Nebelwerfer is the foot version.
Enemies trying to take a point from us.
Looking to go in this area right here. Yep, he would have actually hammered that sniper, and frankly, it takes out the mortar, completely removes it from the battlefield. So decent enough right there. 5 kills. I'm shocked that's actually that good. 15 centimeters. You kind of never really realize how big 15 centimeters are until you kind of realize it's like, what, 6 or 7 inches? I'm not a metric guy by trade, but it's a rather large piece of ordnance. And Royal Engineers retreating in the face of superior German numbers, as well as veterans. See this Comet tank coming in from behind on these Germans. We have 2 packs in the area, so maybe he was just hanging them out to dry and just kind of in case. Rear armor hits, rear armor hits, rear armor hits. One more shot. Will that do it? That will. And the Tiga actually limps away, and with that, Wehr doesn't still have the fuel to immediately... Actually, the wherewithal, can he? I don't think he does. He may have the wherewithal to bring in another Comet almost pretty quickly, but should he really bother with it at this point? No, he's got a couple more seconds before he can bring that in. Firefly, would that be a good idea? I don't think so. It would give it a little bit more speedy. But I think the Comet at this point is probably what he wants to wait on. Huh. Well, with that, the Germans are going to take a triple cap yet again, and this MG42 just keeps coming under fire from this sniper. He's not going to get away in time. He's dead. Oh, wow. Shockingly enough, he's not. That's very strange to see. I expected him to die almost immediately. 2-1 cap out for the Germans. 177 to 188. What had been a devastating position has now turned into, again, like I said, a rather decent game. Tiga in the area can try to take out this mortar, maybe. But I can say far more safely that these Pioneers are coming under fire from all this other madness. Another Panzerwerfer barrage takes out the sniper, decrews the 6-pounder. So while this Comet might be charging on in, might even be able to take out this Panzerwerfer with 10 kills. He's already done more damage than I've expected him to do this entire time. And indeed, he might even be able to take out this Tiga, but the Tiga will rise again rather swiftly. So one shot. Bounces, that's a shame right there, and that's a dead Comet. And with that, infantry section is going to try to go through a cannon bomb out to blow apart the Tiga, but fails miserably. So with that, Wehr is desperately scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I think he's going to drop a full vet squad in just a second. So much rifle fire going on after him. I'm surprised it hasn't gone out already. No, he limps away. Never mind. So the sappers might be back to full strength, but I can tell you that Wehr's army is nowhere near full strength. And now we have Panther coming on out as well. So at long last, a battle phase, going on up to battle phase 3. Obviously, of course, he had that with the Panzerwerfer on the field. But still not a great position. I think Wehr might drop this game after being a very, very strong first, early and mid-game. Just kind of falling apart here at the end. And in the meantime, okay, for some reason we see... Oh, okay. So he's looking to get some more infantry out in the battlefield. Rifle grenade? No rifle grenade. He's just sacrificing models at this point. Retreat. And he might even drop that model as well. So again, whenever someone throws models into the fray, so that way he can pick up things like... Ooh! That was a waste. Things like free infantry, I don't think I agree with that particular decision. But both packs let that one get away, and we did see the Panzerwerfer go down. So after having 2 great barrages, he allows the guy to die, so I'm not sure why that happened. But 39 minutes and 15 seconds have come and gone in this game, and the Germans seem on the brink of really kind of taking it. Of course, I say that, and that's when the Brits are taking this southwestern VP. I think it would have been a better call to try to keep up that Panzerwerfer as opposed to really sacrificing it to pick up a Panther. But hey, that's really just I guess a matter of taste. And really what's more, I'm surprised that the Germans really aren't pressing their advantage, as we see more and more British material being called back onto the fray. 6-pounder is going to catch this Panther in the flank and probably get a couple rear armor shots.
A capture point is being overrun.
It's kind of a waste there. But all in all, I guess I can't be too upset about how things are going for the Germans. I would like to see more Arnolaz bring out some more pioneers instead. But he now has sacrificed a pack. He sacrificed the Panzerwaffe. His Tiga's taking forever and a day to get kind of constituted. And he should be calling another pioneer squad super quickly. But he's not.
We're losing a capture point.
So with that in mind, here comes a flank around this MG. And yeah, he has no option but to retreat. And where now are those Osttruppen? Well, they're coming up back up to the northwest. Alright, interesting. I think Arnolaz is going to cheat himself right back out of a victory. He was up such an incredible amount. I don't think he's going to be quite that way anymore. Brenn's against unupgraded, unvetted Osttruppen. There's only one way that's going to go down. And the Germans and the Brits are just trading out points across the map. Both squads of Grenadiers, the fully vetted up ones, these guys have been here forever. 22 and 19 kills. So shockingly undervalued, as opposed to the 29-17 of these other bros. But the Grenadiers being split out across the map, I don't think I agree with that particular decision. Another Panzerwaffe being called on in. Could have been solved rather simply by just not losing it in the first place, but, you know, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And now this pack gun has been sacrificed. So, again, if you're not going to recrew something, at least destroy it. Don't give it to your opponent to use. Faust comes on out into the back of this Comet tank. Two Faust, in fact. There's a nice little bit of an engine crit there. And between the 6-pounder and this captured pack, this Tiger's going to take a lot of damage here. And Arnolaz is doing that really goofy thing where he decides, you know what, it's a good idea for me to go and repair my Tiger tank while my guys are under fire. Not the greatest option there. The rockets coming on in, not as good as that first couple of barrages, but he still managed to get a couple of kills. Actually, never mind, 5 kills immediately. Devastates one squad of Royal Engineers. Does some good damage to the 6-pounder, but again, Pack 40 is still there. 6-pounder is still in the battle space. And what is Arnolaz doing with this? Well, he's just losing troops right, left, and center. And he's down again on VPs. He could have had this, man. And Wehr, who had been down quite a significant amount in terms of army supply, is now almost even. Almost bang on even again with his opponent. And really, he's been doing it with just a couple of squads of infantry. Coming on out, grabbing support weapon, falling back. Coming on out, grabbing support weapon, falling on back. So if the Germans lose this, it's their own bloody fault. What I do not recall is how quick. Okay, so 33 seconds left, so it's like an 85, 88 second cooldown, and I think that gets lower and lower. So counter barrage rate, kind of nice. Shell accuracy, rate of fire. Counter barrage. I don't want to see people use a counter battery that often. You know. In the meantime, those packs going to get picked on up. He's not going to get away from this. He's being outflanked completely. So 3, 2, 1. That's one squad, and this mortar team might even get picked off as well because these guys are out in the open. Oof, never mind. So, okay. Airplanes coming on out. And that was just a waste to kind of pressure him back for half a second.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
I take that back. That's done a lot of damage. Ooh, there goes a sniper. Okay, so the sniper goes on down. Is this guy still going to get picked on off? No, he can't see him anymore. Alright, so that's a little bit of a saving grace for the Germans. 117 to 155. The Germans are under a triple cap. Nebelwerfer barrage, Panzerwerfer barrage coming back through. And I can't help but feel still that the Germans still aren't being aggressive enough. They could have been following this immediately, following it on up, and just blowing apart whatever the Brits had. A Panther and a Tiger, even sacrificing one of those, bringing the 2 pack guns right behind over here in the center part of the map, really could have taken this. They really could have, but they're not doing it at the moment. And finally, after long last, we see another Pioneer squad coming on out, but it might be too late. Panther and Tiger finally getting repaired, but it's taken forever, man. It's taken forever, and I don't know if the Germans can bring this back. Packman recruit. Yep, the pack's been recruited. After doing a wonderful little flank, does not do anything with it. Meantime, so might see a Tommy squad drop, and yep, there goes a Tommy, so that's one Bren out of the way.
Knocked out.
And maybe, just maybe, if you can take out the other Tommy squad and really pressure out, squeeze out the center right here, you might be able to take this. Pentabuff is going to fire almost on cooldown. You can almost expect that. And this is that squad. Yep, okay, so it was that Grenadier squad who can go and throw out some rifle grenades, but no, instead you think he's going to get torn to pieces here. Bren, okay, there goes the Grenadier Bren squad. And there's a Tiga now in the meantime, so with that, question is, who will he fire at instead? Okay, that's a good call right there. Instead, go after that Comet. Great idea. Do not go after the freaking infantry.
The enemy only have 50 points left.
That's true. The enemy only have 50 points, but we might see a devastated British army because of this. Take a look over here on the upper right-hand side. The AT guns are just kind of limping on through. Of course, the German army is not in much better shape. But the Germans can just kind of trade a little bit of forces for time. Panther goes on down. Perfect opportunity, though. Drop a barrage. No, not going to happen. Too late. Tiger could charge on forwards, though, and really take somebody out. But it's been a 20 army supply going on down for really not a whole lot. Barrage back at home base, I think. There we go. There we go. So decent enough. Not wonderful. A couple of kills here, a little bit of damage. And it just kind of freaks out the Brits for a couple of seconds here. Comet being brought on in favor of Wehr. So these Comets have been a consistent message. And I can't help but feel, unfortunately, that Arnolaz, had he called in the barrage now, he would have had a much better effort.
A capture point is being overrun.
I think Arnolaz is going to be banking on the fact that Stuka-class air support might keep him in this for the moment. Triple cap is for the Germans, though, which means that they're finally coming back into it, barely. And then they do stupid things like, let's charge into this Vickers. My friend, hold the damn VPs. He's not even doing anything with it. Okay, so he throws out a rifle grenade. Big deal, but he's just dropped almost 100 manpower just to do that. If nothing else, you got to think in the most, like, callous terms possible. Like, you don't want to go and sacrifice more manpower than you have to. Or whatever. So mine detected over here in the meantime. So this guy's been detected and undetected a few times here. And finally he's going to get taken off the battle space.
We're losing a capture point.
Panther, in the meantime, he's still out and kind of hunking around. Doing his thing. Being kind of shifty. Really what he should be doing is dropping around a barrage right about here. But we're coming down to the wire. 48 minutes in, 49 to 84. And the Brits are stupidly vetted up. And the Germans, not so much. Not so much. It would be helpful if the Germans could actually have any kind of crush with their tanks, but we know that doesn't happen because nobody likes the German tanks and everybody loves the Americans and Soviets. An MG going down the middle part of the field, silly waste of 75 munitions. And the packs are completely outflanked. Where's the second one? In the wrong direction altogether. Rear armor hits, a couple of them did go on out, but it's not going to be enough. Pack might be able to throw a couple of rounds into the retreating Comet here. No, never mind. That Tigo with a little bit of damage, but again, it's one of those things where the Germans have to just sacrifice tons and tons of manpower and munitions just to do it. Doesn't seem like much of a victory now, does it? Completely misses that 6-pounder. So 6-pounder's been out forever and a day. Been decrewed a couple of times, and now this is where the German army falls to pieces. Yep. Tiga might go on down soon. One more round? No. There we go, there's the Tiga. But in just a second or two, another one's going to be coming right back onto the battle space. And there we go. It's another Tiga. And Wehr really should be just saying, screw this, I don't care about any resource points, just keep the map spread. I have more infantry than the Germans, just keep it spread. There's really no reason to be anything other than just mad aggressive at this moment. And he hasn't picked any commander this entire time. At this point, honestly, he could throw out a commando regiment, throw a glider down here to the southwest, and then, heck, he can do a smoke raid operation too. So, just a quick update. So that thing, neutralize enemy territories more quickly. So it's sort of like that breakthrough doctrine for the Germans, and yet I don't think that's going to happen very easily. Centaur being called in, so this is a giant waste. Is this where Wehr blows it? Because I feel like both players have been back and forth. It's like they're fighting tooth and nail to give it away. Tiga, in the meantime, for example, why are you throwing rounds at the MG? Screw that. Go after what actually hurts you.
We have 25 points. We're losing a capture point.
And there we go. So at long last, Wehr calls in Royal Engineer Regiment. And he throws down that lovely, lovely vehicle crew repairs and throws down anti-building flame mortar support. Interesting. So way the heck down here, which is not going to do anything since there is no line of sight.
Centaur ACAC tank. Red HQ is under attack. Typical enemy trick, isn't it?
What's the last thing that popped? Designated command vehicle. Okay. So improve nearby units.
Heavy armor ready to go.
Moves and fires more slowly. Tracked vehicle. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So still, I'm not sure I really want to. Again, I don't even know which way this is going to go at this point because both players are just being ridiculously, well, just ridiculous. And here comes the charge of the Light Brigade, so both packs are in the air, going to start really throwing rounds into this Comet. This Comet's not going to make it out alive. AA tank throws out rounds at the Pioneers and do decently well against it, but there goes one. That's one Comet gone, and the Centaur's going to go down. Main gun destroyed already, so that's a second tank down in about 15 seconds. It's like half-eye pass back in North Africa. And these Pioneers are going to sacrifice themselves to make sure they can hold on to this point. Jeez, guys. Like I said, I don't know who's winning and who's losing at this point because it's driving me bonkers. And there we go. The Panzerwaffe does its deadly work, blows apart a couple of squads. Tiga still might go down. But with that, Arnolaz loses center VP, and he has no troops out on the map, really. He's got, like, one squad of Grenadiers coming up to the front right now, and these guys could be doing things like rifle grenades, and that's one of them.
Command post vehicle promotion is available.
But he's going after the AT gun instead, which actually, surprisingly enough, is a decent decision. Faust out at the Comet tank, good call as well. Might take out this Tommy squad.
Our capture point. They're trying to
No, he actually might go out instead, so he's got to retreat. So all that's left for the Germans is a stupidly beat up Tiga, a stupidly beat up Grenadier squad, moderately healthy otherwise in terms of Pioneers as well as the lovely, lovely Panzerwaffe. And this Tiga's going to charge on forwards. With smoke rounds, I would have thought they would have been missed immediately. But it's really a question of, can this Tiga take out this punk? (12 to 49, 53-20 left in this game. Why do you... Oh my god. Why do you retreat now? Why do you retreat now? You had the opportunity to come in and just blow apart
Flame mortars can be called to attack enemy
the
structures.
opponent. Bunker, in the meantime, is going to come on out with a machine gun, which means at this point down here,
Enemy threatening a
it's
capture
going to be
point.
just fine, just long enough for the Germans, excuse me, for the Brits to not be able to take that. 6-pounder is back on this battle space yet again, and any sort of... Nope. Grenadiers just getting torn to pieces. Pioneers to the north coming under fire from these Tommies. 12 to 36, it's a 2-0 cap, and indeed, we're going to see the Panzerwaffe getting thrown into the fray just to die. I think he's just drawing fire so that way these guys can pick up this middle VP, and with that, the Germans might be able to close it out.
Mortars are ready to create
Is that a broom bar coming on out?
vehicles that need crew repairs.
Oh dear god, so there's a broom bar coming on out.
25 points left.
And I think the Germans might have been able to do it now. Dear god. Oh my god. I can't believe
Enemy
it.
got one of our squads.
Pioneers retreating. Yeah, it's super close, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be a German
We have 10
victory.
points left.
Against all freaking odds, it's going to be a German victory. Putting rounds out to the bunkers down. Okay, so left and 5, and yeah, that's it. Arnolaz takes it somehow. in just under 55 minutes. And a game that seesaws back and forth way the heck more than any kind of playground recess I've ever seen in my life. By ending score of 12-0, winner by way of knockout, Arnolaz takes out Wehr. And it boggles my mind, because Arnolaz loses like 1,000 guys in his games, and yet he somehow still pulls out a victory. I don't get it myself, but you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose, sometimes. Guys, that's going to be it for me today. As always, this has been Con Ulrich. If you have a game you want me to check out, hit me up in the comments below, or email me at conulrichgaming@gmail.com. I try to check that at least twice a week. I think I'm trying to get into Tuesdays and Thursdays, so every Tuesday or Thursday I'll check it. And I'll try to record for that coming up weekend. So if you have a game, let me know. And if nothing else, guys, you all have a great day. Take it easy, everybody. Take it easy.